Right, we have Naomi Harris and Daniel Craig on the way, but forget about those losers. Because right now, Freddie Flintoff is here. Good morning, my man.
Good morning, Grimmage. All right.
I'm good.
The Radio 1 Breakfast Show with Nick Grimshaw.
That sounded like it was the end of the interview then, didn't it? Like, I'm good, and then I press that. Like,
It's early. I'm trying to get in for this.
Yeah? How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. I had a busy couple of days down in London, signings and various things for this book.
Yeah.
But this is an early start. I think this is the earliest I've started ever.
Is it really? Ever?
Yeah, I don't know how you do this. You get up in the morning to do a breakfast show.
Yeah. This is what we couldn't do it any other time just because of the name of it. Because it's like breakfast show.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, I mean, I've tried.
I get it.
I've tried pushing it later because, you know, like Radio 1 are all
You
about...
could do a brunch show, couldn't you?
A brunch show!
You know, that'd be more
that'd
sociable.
be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because I always think, like, Radio 1 are going for, like, young audience. They want a young audience.
They don't get out of bed till 10 o'clock, do
That's
they?
exactly what I said. I said, let's just wake up at, like, 10 or something and do it then. Do a breakfast show then for the kids, yeah. And you look good, Freddie.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look great. You look a vision of health.
I'm trying, yeah. I go to the gym now. Now I've retired from cricket. I do training and all sorts.
Yeah.
And I've stopped drinking.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I've not had a drink in like over a year or so,
Wow.
which is a bit of a shift from probably what I used to be like.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I'm knocking on, aren't I? I get hangovers, and I've got young kids, and they get up early.
I mean, hangover with I've a child myself, but hangover with a dog is tough. I'm serious, because it's like annoying you. It wants to go in the bed, and you've got to take it for a walk. I mean, even with a dog, it's annoying. I don't know how people do hungover with kids.
No, the kids, they get up early in the morning. They're 11, 9 and 7 now. And no, it is great fun, but you get up for breakfast with them and do various things, and it makes it far easier not having a thick head in the morning. It's good.
Yeah, and you get stuff done as well, because when I go through those stages of not having a pint, I feel like I organise stuff.
Yeah, I understand. I've had such a busy year this year with one thing and another, various TV things, and I'm doing this theatre tour at the minute, and I reckon if I was drinking at the time, it'd make it so much harder.
This theatre tour would be like the Sex Pistols tour or something if you were drinking.
It wasn't. I think our rider is very different now. It's like a bag of Haribos and a cup of green tea. My mate Clyde, who I do it with, the other night was in Portsmouth, and he's got his 4-month-old baby in the green room and his wife and things, so it's very different to what it could have been.
Yeah. We're going to play a clip in a second, which is you in the past, which is amazing. But we will talk about the book first, because you were in to talk about your autobiography, My Sporting Life. It's a good title, that. Was it tough to, like, nail a title, nail the front cover? I know you shouldn't judge a book by a front cover. That's an age-old thing. But people will do. Was it tough to pick that picture? Look at that.
It's like it was tough trying to find an half decent one, and we managed to find one in the end. But you know, the book is My Sporting Life, and it touches on cricket. But then after cricket, I've done quite a few things. I've been so lucky that, you know, doing a league of their own and various stuff that. Yeah, it's more of an insight. When you're playing cricket, you try not to give too much away in sport that people can use against you. Well, that's pretty open. It's more about all the mistakes I've made more than anything. There's a few of them. It could have been a bigger book.
Yeah, it's like a few chapters.
Yeah.
How was it to sit down and write? Like, how did you remember stuff? Because I was saying, like, when you're busy and you're successful as you are, like you sort of, there's a lot going on, so you can't remember stuff. Like when I interview people, like artists and sports people who do well, they always say, I can't really remember stuff because it's stuff constantly going on. How did you, like, remember what you wanted to write about? How did you sit down and tackle a book like this?
Well, I did it with a mate of mine called Ed Smith, and we sat down because one of the reasons for that was I can remember all the stuff that I've failed at. I can remember all the bad days of cricket. I can remember all the times I got no runs and got no wickets and we lost. But when you win, it seems to be a bit of a whirlwind. Yeah. So it was hard remembering the good stuff. So I'd sit with him and he'd ask me questions and jog my memory and try and bring it all back. But yeah, it was nice in some ways, but I don't really like looking back, you know, and talking about yourself and talking about, like, former glories or the handful that I had. And I was always chucking in, like, all the bad stuff. And you say, nah, you can't just write about that. You was all right at cricket.
Balance.
Yeah,
you're pretty good at cricket.
He was all right. Like, so yeah.
And like that, every good story you're trying to find, like, but actually I did this once.
Or try to finish it on a negative. It's like I get really embarrassed. So you talk about a game you did well in, and at the end you finish it off with, but then I embarrassed myself afterwards.
We're going to play a song. We're going to play some Jamie Lawson, and then we're going to chat more with Freddie Flintoff. Do you know what's really funny? That when on your front of your book, I never think of you as Andrew. ever.
Well, that's the
so
thing.
when I saw Andrew Flintoff, I was like, who the bloody hell's that?
Well, I've started using Andrew more as I've grown up.
Yeah.
In the schoolyard, introducing myself. I can't really introduce myself to other parents in the schoolyard as my nickname, so Andrew's popping in more and more now.
Yeah. When I noticed it today, the other day, I was like, Andrew Flintoff, of course. What should we go for today, Freddie or Andrew?
It's entirely up to you.
Okay, I'm going to roll with Freddie.
All right, perfect.
I think it's more natural. Any questions?
If you not took a chance.
Right.
And it's like a bit of a culture change from what I've listened to. But then you find yourself singing along to it. This is all right, this is.
This is all right.
Yeah.
I always like it when dads really know the words to like Little Mix songs. It's really funny.
But we went to a wedding on Friday, and it was one of the wife's friends, and I took the kids, so I was on babysitting duty all day, and then did some dad dancing later on. Anyway, it was awful. I was awful. I cannot move. I'm terrible. But just dancing with the kids.
Are they cool with it, or are they like, Dad, can you sit down?
Well, my daughter, she street dances, and she's been in a dance crew,
right?
And she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm far from cool. I've never been cool, and I'm doing all the moves, and she's like, Dad, please don't do
Stop
that.
Stop it, please.
Yeah.
Dad, cut it out. Right, loads of texts coming in. Emma, stuck on the M5 this morning. Morning, Emma. This is a good question. How does Freddie deal with his sex symbol status? How do you...
What?
How do you deal with it?
This is the first. It is like, I wasn't aware that was the case. I'll be really honest with you. You know, I'm a slightly overweight ex-cricketer. I'd never had myself down as a sex symbol. So I'm dealing with it fine, thank you.
She said you bring a lot of pleasure to a lot of women.
Oh, my word.
Texted in.
Really?
Oh, my God, thanks, Emma. Stuck on the M5. Oh, God.
Has she got the right bloke here?
Oh, that's for Daniel Craig, who's on later.
I thought so, yeah.
James in Bristol says, are you planning on having another boxing match anytime soon? Would you ever do that again?
No, I realised pretty soon into it that I'm not cut out to be a boxer. Yeah. I didn't like hitting people, and I didn't like being punched, which are like key ingredients to being a boxer. I think like Anthony Joshua can breathe a sigh of relief. I am not taking on the heavyweight division. I've done it once, that'll do.
I love that last time when you came on, actually, and you were like, just don't like hitting people.
I don't, there's no reason why you get in a ring with a complete stranger and then expected to hit him. You've no beef with him, you don't even know him, and you got to punch him in the face. Why?
Why? Why?
Yeah.
I always try and get into the boxing. Like, I always try, like, you know, when there's like a big match on or something and everyone gets excited and you'll all watch it. And again, I always feel like, why is he hitting him? Like,
yeah, but they let themselves down to begin with. They start arguing, don't they, before they get in, and they start saying how good they are and how great they are. And, it's weird.
It's a weird world, that one. Gareth from North Wales, can you ask... Flintoff, he's got
Flintoff.
Can you ask Flintoff what his best memory was of the 2005 Ashes? Any at all?
Yeah, well, winning was decent.
Yeah.
And then when we were on that bus around London was nice. Going to 10 Downing Street and sitting in the cabinet room pretending I was Prime Minister and getting kicked out was pretty cool.
Do you know what? We have a clip of this right now because there's a bit of your book which is really, really classy. Like, really posh, right? So we thought the only way to do it justice was to get, like, a posh voice to read it out like they do on Radio 4.
All right.
And then maybe we could do it as, like, a posh audio book. So for you, Gareth, from North Wales, who's texted in this morning, here's an extract from Freddie Flintoff's memoirs, all about the beautiful celebrations which followed your win at the 2005 Ashes. Let's have a little listen to this beautiful story.
That open-top bus ride around London, I was struggling. I do have flashbacks. We got on the bus and they gave us champagne, and it was like, why are you giving us champagne? We've had enough. And ask anyone, where's the best place to send a bunch of drunken blokes? To a garden party at 10 Downing Street, of course. I found my way to the cabinet room. I put my feet on the table. I was the only man in the room, but I pretended to talk to the Home Secretary and the Chancellor. Then a security guard abruptly called the meeting to a close by kicking me out and marching me back to join the rest of the group.
Oh, Freddie.
Wow.
So that is a good take.
Was that a posh voice? I wasn't sure if he was bored or condescending.
Well, that's what we went for. We asked for posh on Radio 4, and as you often do, you do get bored and condescending. It's part of their charm. I love the idea of you sort of staggering towards the cabinet room, like, all right.
I did it. It was the bizarrest thing. I was a fan of like Through the Keyhole as a kid, and this was like ultimate Through the Keyhole. I'm in 10 Downing Street. I'm just gonna have a look round.
Did you nick out?
No, I'll be honest with you. The policeman, he wasn't impressed anywhere, and I thought if I get caught with things in my pockets here, this is going to go wrong.
It's going to go wrong. Who was it that nicked something from Buckingham Palace? Is it Sarah Cox or Denise Van Outen?
Nick spoons or something.
They
didn't
nicked something or an ashtray or something. I mean, don't steal from people's houses. Unless it's the Queen's. No, I'm just joking. Freddie, good luck with the book.
Thank you, Grimmers.
It was great to see you. It was lovely to have you in, and come back and see us soon.
I'd love to. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.